It is time to continue on with the prospect pool overviews today, and we have the Tampa Bay Lightning. And the Lightning one is also going to be quite a short video because, like the other Florida team, Tampa Bay's prospect pool is not particularly great. And I don't think I'm rustling any feathers by saying that. This is just honestly not a good prospect pool, and I'm just going to say that. So let's start off with the best prospect in this pool, and honestly, this guy at his full potential is a low-end second-line center. That should show you how big this prospect pool is. You have Sam O'Reilly. He was acquired in the Isaac Howard trade. He was born in Toronto, 6'1", 190 pounds, was drafted by the Oilers, traded to Tampa Bay. He is a right wing. He played 62 games this past year with the London Knights, had 28 goals, 43 assists for 71 points. He does have a very mature two-way game is what I've noticed. This guy was drafted with the last pick in 2024. And playing on a team as good as London is, he's shown his very good, not only offensive side, but his good defensive side too. He's got that good two-way style, which is the kind of thing you want with this player. He's a good skater as well. His size is about the average size, so there's nothing really wrong with that. Honestly, when O'Reilly is fully ready, and I don't think he's there just yet, probably plays another year in London and then goes to the AHL. But regardless, I think that he's slowly and surely improving. He is by far the best prospect in the Lightning system. I don't think there's really anybody close that comes to him. But overall, this guy's got a great NHL or OHL resume. He hasn't even played in the NHL, but he has a great OHL resume and is going to be very exciting when he is ready to come to the NHL. Ethan Gauthier is one of those guys who has been in the system for about 2 years. He was born in Phoenix. He is 6 foot, 183 pounds. He was drafted 37th overall by the Lightning. He played 50 games with Drummondville this past year. He had 25 goals, 37 assists for 62 points, and he also played 3 games in a little bit of a short stint, 4 if you include the playoffs, with the Syracuse Clunch, which is the affiliate of the Lightning. He's got a great work ethic. That's what I've really seen about this guy when I've read into some of the reports and some of the things about these players. He has a phenomenal work ethic overall and is just very exciting. Look at that. He's been traded multiple times with his draft pick rights. But overall, this is somebody who has that good shutdown ability as well. And he can score a consistent, 25 goals for you if you look at these numbers here. Even in his early years in the QMJHL, he was scoring over 20 goals a season. So, he's got that good work ethic and that good ability. So I think that, to be honest with you, maybe when he's more ready and gets more pro experience under his belt, who knows, maybe he could be a decent bottom sixer. Now looking at one of the guys who was drafted in this past year's draft, Ethan Zada, born in Brampton, Ontario. He's 6'2", 179 pounds. He was a second-round pick in 2025. He can play center, but he can also play right wing as well. He played 68 games with the Niagara Ice Dogs. He had 21 goals, 34 assists for 55 points. From the reports and the things that I've read, this guy is really well known for his talented two-way. And again, that's 2 players right there in Zada and O'Reilly who are well known for their two-way play. So I think a guy like Zada, again, he's a ways away from making it to the NHL. I still feel like he's a little bit raw, in my honest opinion, but this is somebody who you could see possibly down the road playing a solid, third-line center role. He does kind of scream 3-seat to me. He does kind of scream that to me. Maybe a lower-end second-line center, but overall, for a guy like him who had some pretty solid numbers with Niagara, I think that a third-line center is the expectation, and to be honest with you, you got to have guys like that in your prospect pool, and nothing really wrong with this pick, to be honest with you. Moving pretty swiftly along, we look at one of the Russians who has been in the Lightning system, quote-unquote, for a long time here, but technically is not currently signed and also is still in Russia for at least another year. So you have Danil Pelenkov, who was born in Yegoryesk, Russia. He's 6'1", 196 pounds. What's ironic about that, he was drafted 196th overall in 2021. He's a left shot defenseman. He played 68 games with Dynamo Moscow last year. He has 6 goals, 25 assists for 31 points. As you can tell there, he's already begun playing games with Dynamo Moscow because their season starts off a lot earlier than ours does. But overall, Again, he's a good puck mover, and he's mostly known for PK. So he's not really that great. Like, he does have pretty good offensive numbers. His offensive numbers are really improved as a defenseman, but he's known a lot for his penalty killing. And I think that's really impressive. You see that he can, move the puck well and play good offense, but he also can be a good penalty killer there as well. That's a good two-way defenseman, and you don't get those guys kind of very often, especially at a 7th-round pick. So Polankov could be somebody who we see in the NHL possibly down the road. We've been talking about him for a little bit here with Tampa Bay, but overall, he is one of those guys in this prospect pool that is a little bit under the radar and could be very exciting if he ever does come over. Next up, then, we have a guy who was drafted in the 5th round of this past year's draft who's not very well known. You have Everett Baldwin. He's from Providence, Rhode Island. He is 6 foot, 179 pounds. He is a right shot defenseman, though. He, again, was drafted 151st overall in this past year's draft. He was playing in high school, and it doesn't show it on here, but he was playing with the USHS Prep. 22 games played, 10 goals, 10 assists, 20 points. He did make a transition over to the USHL and played a couple of games there, as you can see on your screen, for the Rough Riders and the development program for the USA. He's a dynamic attacker. He's got good mobility, but he showed that in high school. This guy is a incredibly long way away from coming to the NHL, if he even makes it to the NHL. We're talking like 4, maybe even 5 years from now. This is a guy who was drafted straight out of high school, and there's not a lot of players who very often, when they're drafted right out of high school, they make the NHL. It's just very, very rare. You typically see those guys, they'll go to NCAA or the OHL or whatever. They'll go there and not to this. But, yeah, it's very interesting. Again, obviously, Baldwin was in high school at the time, so he can't just go to college. But regardless, he's got dynamic attacking and good mobility, but this guy is very, very raw. Another name here who could prove interesting, you have Caleb Heel, who was a 7th-round pick in this past year's draft. He spent all of his time in the USHL the last 3 seasons. He was born in Victoriaville. He's 6'2", 196 pounds. Again, he played 39 games this past year with the Madison Capitals, had a 25-10-4 record with a 2.85 goals against average and a .896 save percentage. So it's pretty clear what this guy's overall direction's going to be. So he was actually in 06, which is kind of wild to think. He is going to be in the USHL in 25-26, and then he's going to North Dakota in 2026-27. So this is actually somebody who is an overager, and I just realized that by looking at his overall numbers. He was born in 2006, so he's 19. Interesting. Going to be very interesting for sure. We'll have to find out what comes of it here and what's to move forward. But Caleb Heel, one of the guys they most recently just drafted, there's really no other goalie prospect in in Tampa Bay's system that's really worth talking about. So there you go. Looking at some of the other prospects in Tampa Bay's pool here, Jack Finley was a 2020 draft pick. He played his first NHL game this past year with the Tampa Bay Lightning after developing the last couple of years with Syracuse. We'll see if he does get some more games this coming season. Nico Huhtinen, I believe I'm saying that right, just finished up his first full season in Syracuse, had 20 points in 51 games played. He was drafted in 2021, 7th round. This guy, Benjamin Ratianen, was playing in the Liga League, had 50 games played, 33 points. He was a 4th-round pick. That could be a guy with some decent upside there in the future. Aiden Foster, another 4th-round pick, played 68 games played with Prince George, had 20 points. He averaged 136 penalty minutes. That's pretty wild. And then Maxim Groshev there as well, was drafted in 2020, just finished up his 2nd season in the AHL, had 14 points in 56 games played. There you go. That being said, then, let's take a look at the prospect rankings for the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is a very sparse and small prospect pool. You have Sam O'Reilly ranked as your number 1 prospect by a mile. Ethan Gauthier there at number 2, Zada at 3, Polankov at 4, Finley at 5, Baldwin's there at 6, Foster's at 7, Heels at 8, because why not? Huhtinen at number 9, and then Groshev rounds out at your number 10 spot there. So there you go. This is a very, very weak prospect pool. It might be weaker than Florida's, you could even argue. It's just not very strong whatsoever. Isaac Howard was really carrying the workload, and now it's just like No. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below in the Tampa Bay Lightning prospect pool. It's going to be pretty weak, but as this team does kind of wind down and they get worser and worser and eventually all the guys retire, this will be a stacked prospect pool when I'm doing this in 2040. So let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.